Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through 2024 P5 Science Singapore Chinese Girls School question number 34. So this is basically about circulatory and respiratory systems. Okay, these two topics you kind of have to learn together. Okay, because over here the main idea is really about these lungs. Then it links to your heart, then it links to your body, which we'll talk more about it later on for this part. Okay, so the graph below shows how Nadia's heart rate changes with time as she ran for a short while from rest. Okay, so based on the graph, state the starting and ending time for her run. When did she start? When did she end? Okay, when you're starting, right, the heart rate will start to increase. Okay, your heart rate, okay, will start to increase, which is represented by HR. When you're ending, right, when you stop your run, right, your heart rate will start to decrease. So you just take a look at this graph. Okay, over here this is resting. That means over here she probably haven't started her run. When she didn't really start her run, right, it's really at this point, at point E onwards, because at point E, right, the heart rate start to increase. So the starting point should be at E. Okay, that's when she start to increase. So when it increase until a certain point, right, at F, right, this is the peak heart rate. Peak heart rate. Okay, but will this be the time that she stopped running? No. Okay, this is not the time where she stopped running. In fact, this is the time where she continued to run. She continued to run. Okay, when did she stop? She stopped at here, because at the moment where G is at, right, the heart rate start to decrease. So it shows you that her body is really needing less energy as compared to before point G. So therefore at point G it must be at the point where she stopped her run, she started to cool down. Okay, that's why her heart rate decreases, her heart pumps slower, and in this case because her body needs less energy. So this is the heart when this is the point at G, right, where she really stopped her run. Okay, so in this case at G, and of course after she stopped her run, she continued to cool down. H will be the time where she returned to her resting heart rate. Okay, in this case, so she start at G and at in this case she start at E and at G. Describe how oxygen in the surrounding reaches the muscles in Nadia's leg. So this is actually a very classic question, and actually is actually a actual PSLE question. Okay, 2027 question number 33A. So in this case, right, there is actually 3 steps that you can describe about how the oxygen reaches the leg. So now let's go back to this classic diagram, okay, of this. So you have the lungs, then you got heart, then you got the legs. Okay, so in this case, let me talk about all the body parts first. So the oxygen, okay, which is part of the air, right, they first will enter where? They will enter into the lungs through these 2 organs first, through the nose plus your windpipe. Okay, through the nose plus your windpipe. So over here you talk about how the air enters first. Okay, in this case. Okay, so you can talk about the air enter the lungs through the nose or the windpipe, or you can say air enter the nose, windpipe, lungs. Both are fine. Okay, you can reorder this. Okay, so the next part is really at the lungs. What happened? Okay, at the lungs, right, the oxygen in this case, right, the oxygen will be absorbed into the bloodstream already, right? So when it enters into the bloodstream, it will become oxygen-rich blood. Then where will it go next? It will go to the heart. So this is actually the second part. At the lungs, you can quote this. At the lungs, what happened? Oxygen is absorbed in the bloodstream, which is then transported to the heart. So the bloodstream will transport it to the heart, which is the next location. Then what happened to the heart? The heart will only do one thing. They will start to pump O2 rich blood to the legs, and that is how the oxygen get to your legs through the different pathway that is being described in this diagram over here. Very classic diagram, you can find it in your textbook. Okay, so this is the last part. The heart pumps oxygen rich blood to the leg. Okay, so this part is just a very descriptive process. You only talk about oxygen, don't need to talk about carbon dioxide for in this case. So in this case, with that, okay, thank you very much.